Hi YouTubers, thanks for stopping by. Today's video, I thought I would answer the question, what's in my gig bag? And hopefully you guys will post in the comments some things that you carry around at gigs. A lot of times students will ask me, what do I need to take to a gig? Do I need duplicates of everything? And this is just what I take over the 40 years or so of doing this that I kind of carry around, depending on the job. Sometimes if it's a job that I'm going to have to walk to for blocks, I might just take the bare minimum in a backpack to get there. But generally, I carry a bag with me that has the same stuff in it. I just leave it in there all the time. Anyway, so as always, I really appreciate all the kind words and encouragement you guys offer me. It really is appreciated, and I appreciate any help you can offer and help me grow this channel by subscribing, liking, and commenting below. And it all helps out, and I really appreciate your help. So let's get to it. So here's my gig bag that I've been using for a bunch of years. So this is just a big duffel bag. It has wheels on it, on one side of it, and it has a pop-out handle like a suitcase would. So I found that to be real handy for carrying stuff around, because I can just put stuff in it and drag it. Sometimes this can get real heavy. If I'm taking my Boss GX100, I have a case for that, and I'll put the case, and that fits right in here because I have quite a bit of room in here as well. In my trunk I keep of my car, I keep those pads that you stand on that alleviate shock. I think I got them at Harbor Freight for 11 bucks. They're the best 11 bucks I ever spent. There's like 4 tiles you can put together, and if I'm going to be playing someplace that's a concrete floor or a really particularly hard floor, I'll put those down, and that allows me to still walk and stand up straight at the end of a gig. They really help out a ton. If not, it just destroys my back standing for 3.5 hours, whatever it is. And I have a roller cart that I keep in my trunk as well, a folding cart. Without that, there'd be no way I could ever take amps to a gig anymore, because there's just too much. You can't get close enough to these places anymore because of parking issues. Really, to make load-ins easier and just take it out of the car and take it in and set down, very rarely is that the case anymore, at least in my world. So I need a cart to be able to roll from the parking lot or a block over or whatever to kind of be able to drag that stuff around. The main thing that I carry in here, in this bag, I'll just go through it, is I'm not one of those guys that takes a million things as duplicates, right? I mean, I'm playing a gig and making $100 for 3 hours. The worst, if the cable goes out, someone probably has a cable or something. If worst case scenario, I'd plug direct into the PA if an amp quit or something and get through the gig. It would be fine. I'm not that diehard. You got to take 2 amps and 4 guitars, and that's not me. Never has been me. I want to take the least amount of stuff I can possibly take to a gig and make it as easy as possible to get in there and play and get back home. That's my goal. I'm lazy. But what I kind of carry is generally just will have a bunch of backup cables. So first thing I have is set lists that we use. I have that kind of set up, and then I'll usually take 2 mics. So I sing, so I have to take a mic stand and a mic. I take a vocal mic. This is a Beta 58, which I like a lot, Shure. This is what I use for a vocal mic, and then this is a Carvin amp I got. It's like a 58 clone that Carvin used to make, which is a great amp too. Sounds great. I sang for this for years till I got this one. And now I take this along in case I'm going to mic a guitar amp. If you want to check out some videos I did the line out to like a Super Crush and some of the amps that I take and play gigs with. And in doing the one for my Super Crush 100, I realized that I like the sound of it mic'd better than the line out. So I take a mic that I use to mic that amp if I'm taking there, and I just drape the mic cable over the top through the handle and hang it in front of the amp if I'm using that as an amplifier out. And then I take, this is just a clip-on attachment to hold a tablet on my mic stand. This has been a really good one I've had for years. It's all metal. It's really nice. I had one that I used for years before this, but it would broke a lot because it was plastic, so I'd have to super glue it back together and stuff. And then I just take a bunch of cables, duplicate cables, so I'll take like 3 guitar cables generally. I really like these Boss cables. As you know, if you watch this channel, I'm a Boss fanboy, so these cables are super nice. So I bring 2 of those and 1 super long 1/4-inch one like this. So if I'm using my GX100 or running out of line out of an amp, I'll just take this one and use that as the direct output. And then I take a couple of mic cables. One obviously for a vocal mic, and the other one I got a different colored one so it goes into the board. If this is my guitar amp, mic, or whatever I'm using, I can quickly look and see that it's a different color and not have to try and track down what the cable goes to in the board. I don't bring the PA, so I'm only just bringing my own personal equipment for this stuff. I bring a power strip that I always use, and I bring an extension cord that has like 3 prongs on it, you know, so I can plug a few things in with this. And to be honest with you, I hardly ever use that. That ends up just being extra stuff to drag around, really, but it's there in case I need it, and I have had to use that occasionally. I bring a folding Fender guitar stand, like one of these that I use to put my guitar on, and then I keep stuff. So that's the main stuff that I'm using all the time. So that stuff gets used just about every gig. And then I have pockets that I'll take some backup stuff. And let's look and see. I'm not even real positive what I have in here anymore, to be honest with you. Let's see. So it looks like I have a couple extra sets of strings, crappy ones. I take a multi-tool knife that has like pliers and that sort of thing on it. I bring a little popper so that I can do a adapter from 3-prong to 2-prong if necessary. I got this 100 years ago. This thing was called a Gitool at the time, I think. It has all the Allen wrenches and screwdrivers and stuff. I've been dragging this thing around since the 80s, I think, in everything I have. I got one of these recently, which is kind of cool. I don't really know how much it helps or not, but it makes me feel a little better. If we play a new place, I plug this in just to make sure that the outlet is wired correctly to try and avoid getting shocked. If any of you guys have been shocked, you know that's not fun. And that stuff just kind of rides along in here, and hopefully I never need any of that stuff. But that's what's in there. And that's all I take. I keep some other stuff in my guitar gig bag. I keep an extra set of strings in there as well. I have a string winder with a string cutter to quickly change strings in there. Earplugs. I keep in there too. If the drums are just, I have to be too close to the drums, earplugs pop out and I use those. And any other miscellaneous stuff. If I'm taking a tablet, that goes in there as well. Capo, that kind of stuff. All just goes in my guitar gig bag. But this is the main one that I drag around for the different stuff. So really, what's in your gig bag? I'm anxious to hear what you guys think you have to take to gigs. Are you one of the guys that has to take duplicates of everything because you just feel better about that? Or are you like me, wants to travel as light as possible and just bring the bare necessities? If I was taking a backpack, I just bring enough cables to hook up what I'm hooking up and put it in a backpack and go. And generally on those gigs I'm going to use a modeler, and on that I have a bag for my GX100. I carry that with a small backpack and a guitar, my mic stand, and I go, and I'm good to go. Hopefully one trip, maybe 2 if I have to bring the floor mats in, but that are in my car. So I'd love to hear what you guys have in your gig bag. So post in the comments below and we can maybe all learn something from each other about what everyone's bringing around to these gigs. As always, I appreciate you watching this channel. Thanks so much, and you have a fantastic day.